They say the most terrifying thing you can encounter in life is yourself. For centuries, tales of doppelgangers, perfect doubles, with no shadows, no reflections, have haunted folklore. To see your own double was said to be a death omen, a warning that your days were numbered. But what could be more unsettling than knowing that something is out there, pretending to be you and pretending to live your life? Welcome to Cinnamon Babe Horror Stories. Once upon a time in 1845, located in Latvia, there was an institution under the dictatorship of Moravian dictators, if I'm saying that correctly. In attendance, there was 42 young girls. They were students at the institution, and they come from noble families. That year, a new teacher was hired, and her name was Mademoiselle Emilee Sagee, whatever. She was blonde, fair-skinned, and had blue eyes. She was described as good-tempered, quiet, but anxious and nervous. In the first couple of weeks, rumors began to swirl around the institution about Emilee and her whereabouts throughout the school. Students reported seeing Emilee in one spot of the school, and then they would see her in another spot, and sometimes they would see double of her. In fact, one day, 13 students reported seeing Emilee writing on a chalkboard with her double standing right next to her, imitating her. Only it didn't have chalk, it was just imitating her writing on the board. Over the next couple of months, more and more strange happenings occurred involving Emilee. Sometimes the double would imitate her, other times it would just be standing there as Emilee was doing whatever she was doing. Another strange occurrence was reported by a student. She was getting dressed and Emilee came behind her to help hook her dress, and when the student looked in the mirror beside them, she saw two Emilies, one imitating exactly what Emilee was doing. But this strangest occurrence happened in front of 42 students. One day, 42 of the girls were in class and they had a teacher that was teaching them. She decided to step out for a moment. Now the students could clearly see Emilee outside picking flowers in the garden, as she often did. But when the students looked back at the empty chair that was in front of the class where their teacher was sitting, Emilee's double appeared. And she was kind of see-through, but she was like tangible, physical, right in front of them. And the students looked back at the garden and Emilee was still out there. Only now, instead of just picking flowers like a normal person, she appeared very lethargic and sleepy and low energy. And so the students were just sitting there staring at this double sitting in the chair right in front of them. And she was non-responsive. She just was staring straight ahead. And so the students, they got very curious. And so a couple of them decided to come up to the figure and see if they could touch it. Which, that is just so crazy brave. I think it got to a point where the students just got so used to it and their curiosity got the best of them. But I wouldn't go near it. But some brave girls decided to get up and walk towards it. Mind you, the thing is not like responding. It's not looking at them. It's just in the zone. So they reach out to touch her and they could feel fabric, the clothing that she was wearing, which was the same exact clothing that Emilee was wearing. They described it as muslin, which was a popular fabric dress that was worn back in that time. It's very thin. It's like sheet material, but it's super, super thin. and they said they could actually feel it. And then some students reached out to touch her, and their hands went straight through her with a little bit of resistance. Again, she remained unresponsive. The figure continued to sit there staring straight ahead for several minutes, and all the girls were just frozen. They didn't know what to do. And then eventually she began to fade, and then she just disappeared. And when she disappeared, the girls looked back out the window back at Emilee, and her energy had gone back to normal, and she continued to pick the flowers. And from 1845 to 1846, this behavior continued. And parents began to get very worried, and they began to remove their children from the school, to the point where it went from 42 students to only 12 girls. So it got to a point where the administration had to ask Emilee to resign because it was literally causing the school to sink. And Emilee responded saying, the 19th time. It is getting very hard to bear. Emilee was 32 at the time, and she had been teaching since she was 16 years old. And she explained that since that time, she had been fired from 18 other school facilities. And she said it was because of the same exact occurrences that had been happening there. So Emilee went to go move in with her sister-in-law, who had several young children in the home. And one of the teachers from the institution came to visit her just to check up on her. And she talked to the young kids. Some of them were like 4 and 5. And they said that, yes, this had been going on in the house as well. And they said that they would often see 2 Aunt Emilies. After that, the teacher and the institution lost contact with Emilee, and no one really knows what became of her afterwards. Since Emilee's occurrence with the doppelganger, there had been many books and references referencing her experience. So my conclusion is that a doppelganger is just a demon that has attached itself to a human being. And the reason why they do it is to feed off our energy. If you notice in the story, Emilee was suffering low energy whenever the thing separated from her. It was taking her energy away from her, and then it would come back and bring the energy back. Demons study us because they want to be us, and then they attach themselves and become like an extra layer. This particular entity was so powerful that other individuals could see it and also touch it, which is very, very rare. So yes, I hope you like this story. I find it very interesting because, like I said, it's extremely rare that you could touch an apparition that appears. Like, it's very rare. You can see them sometimes, but very rare you can touch them. So I find that extremely interesting. Let me know down in the comments what you think about doppelgangers or spirits, apparitions. Let me know, and please like and subscribe, and please enjoy the next video that's coming out. Bye.